I really need more coffee today. We're currently having a crazy storm in LA, so it's going to be dumping rain for the next 3 days. Starting yesterday, a little bit worried about the landscaping. Over the last few days since my last catch up, we've been just doing a lot of errands. Finally started really throwing ourselves into packing. Got a ton of errands to do today. Justin's out with the car right now getting that serviced because we got a recall notification saying that something with the hybrid battery in our car is like a fire hazard in case there's a crash. So obviously we wanted to get that taken care of before shipping the car off to New Jersey. Couple updates on the moving front as well. Our car was estimated to be picked up because they only give you a delivery window time of a couple of days and not a guaranteed date unless you want to pay like insanely more. So the window of time was supposed to be as early as this Wednesday, but then they called us and they were like, can we pick it up tomorrow? And we're like, no, we still have a lot of other things to do because being carless in LA for a while is interesting. So we still need to get like our last run of groceries, do a ton more errands. Like I have to run to the post office, UPS store for my biz mailbox. I need to do all of that stuff again. We have a ton of stuff that we've been donating to Goodwill and different donation centers as we go through and pack. And I feel like it's funny how I feel like I've done a pretty good job over the years of keeping our house free of clutter and unnecessary stuff, especially with the nature of my job. It's really strange how much product can accumulate, but I usually try to disseminate those things amongst friends, but still it's amazing how quickly things can add up. So I've been doing a lot of drop-offs, especially because, well, we're gonna get to the moving part in a second. We cannot go over the inventory on our move. Moving costs have gone up like double since the last time we moved 2 years ago. It is crazy. I wanted to move with the same company that we used to move out here and that I moved for a move before that as well, because they're really great, they're very organized, and I feel like they did a great job with our stuff. But yeah, cross-country moves are no joke. We had less stuff coming here last time because we had less furniture. Justin had less office stuff. We had one less bed than we do now. So yeah, I was very taken aback by the original estimate of the move. So we managed to remove a couple of items to bring down the cost a little bit, but that was a lot. But we do officially have our movers booked and we have our official moving date set. So we've got the car shipping settled. Hopefully it'll arrive on time by the time that we get to Jersey. And we have our movers set. We technically have our close date set. We're still waiting on a couple of updates from the sellers. Actually, should be getting some updates today, hopefully, on the status of a couple of things that need to be taken care of before we can officially schedule that closing. And we're doing a remote closing because we're not flying to New Jersey just for the closing. So we are going to meet with a notary here in California, get that taken care of here. It's just really strange that all this stuff is a week out, a week and a half out. And while we've made these plans to make these appointments and reservations because we have to with how close things are, some of it still doesn't feel like it's set in stone. This is just the weirdest process. I also feel like once we get there, it's pretty much hit the ground running. There's so much to do. I've got a lot of work stuff going on too that's kind of hitting right at that time. Of course, I feel like this is just always the case in life. I honestly feel a little bit overwhelmed, but I feel like I'm just trying to take it one day at a time by chipping away at things and being super organized with making my lists that are ever evolving every day. I think the biggest thing that sucks right now is that it's been dumping rain. So it's raining for the last few days that we have the car essentially. And after we don't have the car, it's gonna be tougher to take Benny to parks and things like that, obviously, but we are trying to keep things as normal as we can for him before the move because he is a scaredy boy and he does get affected a lot by change. He's very adaptable and sweet and trusting of people, but he gets fear stacked really easily. So all of this stuff with the travel, the move, the new environments, all of this stuff is going to be overwhelming. And when I think back to when we first moved to California, there was definitely much more of an acclimation period than I think I realized at the time. Things are just so different having a pup. I wish I could just explain to him what's going on. Right now with work, things are just also really difficult for me personally. Work has been a little slow, which is also stressful on financial front because I'm self-employed, and that tends to be unpredictable, which I feel like I am used to, but it's especially tough when you're taking on a big financial obligation like we're doing right now and moving super costly. All of this stuff is, definitely adding up very quickly. So that's been stressing me out a little bit, and I also feel like I'm failing to do my job right now as a content creator because I'm not sharing this video until, this is all actually happening. But it's been really hard to share on social channels anything interesting because I'm so consumed with this whole process right now, but being not able to share it, I feel like I have nothing else to share right now. And so it's a sucky feeling to feel like you're really just juggling a lot of balls in the air, but like that one I just am dropping over and over. And as someone who likes to be good at their job, it's very difficult for me to reconcile. Trying to remind myself that it is a short period and I will get back on track once, we're on the ground and this part of this chapter is finished.
How bad are your farts right now?
Really bad. Really bad. Just outing me to the world. Husband, you'll get yours later. Are you supervising me?
Oh my god, that
Yeah, exactly. Like for the entire day.
my sad vegan dishes. But the flavor is good, right? Oh my god. So good.
Really hoping that our beds don't overflow. There's already been a lot of cooling with water around the DG, so I'm just hoping that this doesn't kill our new plants, all the rain. Good morning. I am dressed up in my teddy bear finest right now because it is dumping rain outside. It is still monsooning essentially. So if you hear the sounds of raindrops on top of my car, I'm sorry. So right now I'm waiting to meet Remy for the last time before we move. So meeting up with her to do a little matcha. Also have a bunch of stuff in the back to give her. Giving her my Bearby blanket and then a bunch of random other goodies. I feel like I've just been constantly bags of things towards friends because we're cutting it really close on the moving inventory, it feels like to me. So right now today we are a week out from closing, which is super freaky to me. Got an email from our lender to schedule our remote closing. We are still waiting for a couple things from the sellers, which I anticipated would be the case. I had advised things to get rolling earlier because I just knew that this was gonna happen. But I'm really hoping that there's no delays with the actual closing because of that. But yeah, we're in for a crazy next few days. So actually our car pickup was supposed to happen tomorrow, but it got pushed back to Saturday, which I'm really relieved about. Kind of a blessing in disguise. It's hit or miss in terms of the timing of when it'll be now delivered to New Jersey. So we might not have the car like day one that we're there. I'm really hoping so though. But it gives us a couple more days here in LA with the car. So that's been really helpful to be able to drop off donations. We've had to do a couple of Home Depot runs for packing supplies, getting a last round of groceries a week out from the move instead of like a week and a half of having to do groceries. And then, I'm thankful that we live in a time during delivery, but right now we are like pinching pennies with the budget stuff right now. We've also been really busy selling off a bunch of stuff that we have deemed like not absolutely necessary or essential to bring with us because again, our moving inventory, we have a limit and we need to stick by it. But honestly, I'm kind of in disbelief that in less than a week and a half, we are flying out on a one-way plane ticket to the East Coast. It's freaking me out a little bit. Last night, I could not fall asleep for the longest time because I was just thinking about life and all the things, and I was very much... normally when I spiral, I feel like I spiral into like nitty gritty, like little details and granular things. But this time I was kind of like thinking about all different chapters of my life, feeling very nostalgic, but then also feeling very introspective about what's to come. And I'm a firm believer that life paths are not a right or wrong thing. Like, you make your choices, and I think there are multiple different ways to find fulfillment and be happy in life, in the careers that you choose, with the partners that you choose, all of that stuff. I do believe that there are multiple paths forward. And I think for me, I used to get really caught up in being like, well, I can see myself being happy here or there or all those things. And all that stuff is still true. It's just a matter of deciding and making a choice of what to move forward with, and then giving that your all to make yourself as happy and fulfilled as possible. So I'm really excited for what this next chapter holds. I think this transition period, I can be a little bit pessimistic about this stuff because I'm just such a realist about logistics and planning, where I'm like, it's going to be a rough period. I need to buckle down and just get through it, which feels that way. But I'm really hoping to not be so me in the process and be able to enjoy it a little bit more throughout the little moments in between, and instead of viewing it all as like stressful hurdles to just have to grit your teeth and get through, I'm trying a little bit more to enjoy the ride. How lean that one is. I wonder if that was from the storm. Yo, that one looks like it's gonna like fall on our head.
All the palm trees, but like the sky is not giving California right now.
It's like wavering right now, Jesus.
Palm trees. Where are we going?
We're going to the Korean facial spa place for one last little face rub.
Going out with glowy skin.
Yeah.
Oh, LA.
Gross ass LA right now.
Yeah, we've got a patch of sunlight.
Yeah.
Ooh, pink car.